Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about one thing every champion main or one trick will understand. Let's go. Aatrox mains understand how truly annoying and hard to kill super minions are. They don't fear much, but they do fear super minions. Also, old Aatrox mains miss the old Aatrox. Our mains understand the pain of missing their charm, and everyone spam pinging them because of it. I guess that's what happens when it's a bright, flashy pink ability that's hard to miss. Akali mains understand that if you see someone TPing, you have to follow them with your E, even when it leads to disaster. Also, just taking E2 in general is kind of a must if you hit it. Akshan mains understand the pain of up your E since it's the only way you can really get away. It also sucks whenever your opponent figures out they can just walk in front of it to cut you off. Alistar mains understand the pure satisfaction of headbutting people into turrets, and also the pain of messing up your combo and headbutting someone away instead of knocking them up. Amumu mains understand how quite literally sad their W is compared to some other champions. You're not a true Anivia main if you've never stopped a teammate's back with your W before. In this case, Nico may have gotten trolled a bit too hard though. Yo, really quick, this video is proudly sponsored by Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans is one of the OG mobile multiplayer strategy games, and crazy enough, I have been playing this game for literally over 10 years now, which is actually longer than I've been playing League. As you can see from my base, I still play this game a lot, mostly because it's the perfect game just to chill and relax with. Anyways, Clash revolves around collecting resources, upgrading defenses, and attacking, which can actually be really fun to strategize with, as I sit here and spam 8 Electro Dragons across the map. Anyways, over the years, Clash of Clans has added a ton of new features like pets, new heroes, new defenses, new bases, new wars, and entire new modes too, so it's definitely worth checking some of this stuff out. They also made it way easier now for beginners to join by substantially cutting down on time and resources it takes to upgrade new buildings. And as proof of this, this is literally a base that I started less than a year ago. Also, if you did happen to play before and have an old base, they actually implemented a system a while back that upgrades inactive bases automatically for you, so you might be pleasantly surprised if you log back on. So make sure to download it for free using the QR code here or the link in the description. Thank you so much Supercell for supporting the channel, and back to the video. Any mains understand the pain of accidentally missing a last hit with her Q and losing her entire mana bar because of it. Aphelios mains know the pain of someone engaging when you have the wrong weapons up. Having your sniper and gravitum up when there's an all-in, for instance, isn't super ideal. Ashe mains know the pain of having to play League in 2023 with no dash or mobility whatsoever. Real Aurelion Sol mains are grateful for the rework, but are a bit sad since they've spent so many hours mastering the art of the balls. Azir mains have a deep hatred for Samira. Hard mains understand how insanely annoying it is when teammates take your shrine 1 second before it's charged or right after you drop it. True Bel'Veth mains know what it means to die for your stack. Even if it costs you your life, it's kind of worth it, maybe. Blitzcrank mains know what it's like being able to hit insanely difficult hooks without a problem, but messing up completely when it's wide open and everyone's watching. Random mains know what it's like getting flamed from your ADC from taking all the kills. Braum mains know the pain of protecting your ADC all game only to have them run away from you when you need to jump to them to escape. Caitlyn mains know how great of a feeling it is to see someone pop Zhonya's in front of them. It's like getting free candy. Real Camille mains remember what it was like to be able to play her in the jungle as well. Cass mains understand trying to last hit minions with her E, but instead missing it and also losing 50 mana in the process. Cho'Gath mains know the pain of getting a kill but not the stack. On top of that, they also understand what it's like for your teammates not to let you stack big objectives. Corki mains know what it's like getting your ult pinged when your team is actually mad at the fact you didn't use your W with your package. All Darius mains understand the pure agony of being helplessly tossed around just trying to latch onto someone but not being able to because you're a melee character with no mobility and little to no gap closers. I mean, this may not be a real clip, but the concept is definitely relatable. True Diana mains understand that you can actually dash 3 times with her E if you Q and instantly dash after with another target nearby. This also works with minions. Besides Mundo mains knowing that he can go where he pleases, they also know the true importance of corporate Mundo. Draven players understand the pain of losing their juicy 150 stacks, and they also understand how insane their subreddit is. Ekko mains know how annoying it is to get your ult pinged after dying even though you were perma-CC'd for the last 8 years and your ult doesn't work when you're CC'd. Elise mains hate it when people don't let you aggro during a tower dive and end up dying themselves because of it. On top of that, they usually end up flaming you too because they die as well. Eve players know what it's like to constantly have to smash their Q. Also, people who group and place pink wards are their worst nightmare. They also know the struggle of having to switch to other junglers sometimes and not getting to be invisible all the time. It sucks when you can't just walk right through every warded bush anymore. Ezreal mains understand the pain of a support engaging when the enemy is in a creep wave because trying to land your Q is hard enough already as it is. Fiddlesticks mains hate it when you're hiding in a bush and you use your ult, but your ult doesn't fear them because they probably have the bush warded. Fiora mains hate Bramble Vest. Also, it's really annoying when they figure out you can just hug the wall during your ult and not let you get the vitals. Real Fizz mains understand that Dark Seal first item is a must. Galio mains just miss being able to W flash as well as E flash for that matter. Also, Galio support players know the pain of just trying to kill the cannon minion but killing all the other ones around it as well accidentally because of his passive. Gangplank mains understand that Sheen is really all you need in life. And they also understand the pain of their Q costing 55 mana but getting no mana refund back. Garen mains understand being flamed for winning with such a basic champion, but honestly, they embrace it. Our mains have to deal with people who don't understand how his transformation works. People always ping their ult after they die, even though it was only halfway to transformation when the fight started. Gragas mains understand the satisfaction of landing your ult Q combo. Graves mains love the feeling of seeing an AD jungler on the other team who wants to fight over the scuttle crab. Gwen mains know the pain of how hard it can be to land your ult sometimes. Real Hecarim mains only use Ghost, never Flash. Heimerdinger players understand the pain of getting Mord ulted and having all your turrets get left behind you. Real Alawi mains understand getting spam pinged when you're trying to set up your tentacles in lane first instead of just sitting around red buff and waiting for it to spawn while leashing. If you're an Aurelia main, you know how much playing against Baron buff sucks. You literally can't do anything against it because you can't one-shot minions with your Q, and you pretty much feel completely useless. Ivern mains know the pain of dealing with people who don't know how his Q works, and that you can actually engage off of it. They also still deal with people trying to leash them. Janna mains understand using their ult and having allies scatter away. It's kind of hard for Janna to bring the circle to them if she can't move. Also, somehow everyone on your team is able to dodge your redemption, but not the other team's skill shots. Jarvan mains understand the pain of trying to EQ over a wall, but the wall bumping your flag a bit further, forcing you to fail your dash and be sad. Jax mains hate the rock, but love the scissors. Jace mains are pretty used to someone, typically an ADC, typing in all chat complaining on how much damage their shock blast did. Real Jhin mains know how useful his traps really are and how satisfying it is to get a kill with them. Also, they understand that taking wards on Jhin is the worst, especially when you don't have all 4 shots available. It was even worse when the control wards were 5 HP instead of 4. Jinx mains understand what true wrist pain is because of how much they have to click when they build up attack speed. Kai'Sa mains understand the pure temptation that comes when needing to proc their passive, even if it costs them their life. Also, you're just not a champion until you've evolved your Q. Kalista mains know the pain of saving someone with their ult just to see them throw themselves back into the team fight and die. Karma mains understand having Riot nerf their champion back to the support role every time they start getting good in other lanes. Besides getting really excited when someone's low HP, Karthus mains also know the satisfaction of picking up kills that they never intended on getting with his ult. Surprise kills are the best kind of kills. Kassadin mains understand getting their champion permabanned, especially now that Rod of Ages is back. Real Katarina mains just miss Hextech Gunblade. Gale mains understand just not being a champion for the first half of the game, at least until you hit level 11 or 16. They're also pretty used to getting flamed by the other team for just playing like a wuss in laning phase, which in their defense, they kind of have to. Kayn mains understand the pain of the champion you ult dying, so not only do you not get your heal, but you also can't choose where you dash. Also, they're pretty over people not leashing them because they think Kayn starts Raptors. Kenna mains know just how bad it is to play against tanks like Nasus and being able to do absolutely nothing against them. Kha'Zix mains know the satisfaction of seeing that juicy isolation mark pop up. It's just kind of irresistible once you see it. Every Kindred main knows what it means to die for your mark. A risky but worthy sacrifice. Kindred mains also understand the pain of strongly pursuing a mark only to have it expire. Pledge mains have the mindset to start a team fight whenever they feel like it, even when they don't have a team with them. They also understand the sheer pain of being in their remount animation but still dying in the middle of it, being just milliseconds away from remounting and living. It's honestly just a tease. Kog'Maw mains understand that for some reason really random builds work on him for no reason, but it's just better to go with it rather than question it. Let's be honest, I don't really know if you can be a Cassante main yet, so instead here's a Crescente. LeBlanc mains know the struggle of CSing with their attack animation and also accepting the fate that they're supposed to have less CS than their support. Whether Lee Sin mains like to admit it or not, at one time or another they have all gotten juked out by the crab when they've thrown their Q out. All Leona mains know that you have to go in once you hit level 2. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Lilia mains understand the feeling of going too fast that you actually miss your Q. Lissandra mains live for those moments where you have Zhonya's and your ult. There's nothing like being invulnerable for 10 seconds and watching their whole team melt. Lucian mains really just want one thing, and that's for their Q to be longer. Probably not just their Q though. Lulu mains really love Twitch mains. Lux mains understand what it's like to play Earth every single game after 20 minutes with their ultimate. Also, if you play as support, you know what it's like to steal all the kills and get yelled at by your ADC because of it. For Malphite mains, nothing feels worse than missing your ult. Malzahar mains really only hate one thing in the game, and that's QSS, for obvious reasons. Maokai mains know the pain of placing your sapling and having it instantly run straight into a minion wave. It's truly a painful experience. Real Yi mains want just two things. One to have old items back and old Yi back, and the other for this to finally become a skin, which in case you didn't know was featured as an Easter egg in the anniversary skin splash art from a low budget cosplay someone did. If you're a Misfortune main, you 100% know the pain of accidentally canceling a perfectly good ult. Mordekaiser mains have one time or another experienced ulting someone in a team fight only to come out and see their whole team dead. Also, they hate Fiora. Morgana mains know the struggle of putting up a perfectly good shield just to have your team flash and dodge an ability anyways. Nami mains like Jhin mains. So really quick, a lot of you aren't subbed, so if you could take a second to poke that sub button, that would mean so much to me. Thanks guys. Nasus mains know the consistent struggle of deciding whether or not you should get the guaranteed gold or risk trying to stack something because of cooldowns. Nautilus mains enjoy being basically the second jungler and making the enemy mid laners suffer. Nico mains hate it when they're disguised as someone and that someone on their team isn't even hiding. Nidalee mains understand that sometimes you just gotta roll your face over the keyboard and hope for the best in tight situations. Neela mains understand being relevant for a few weeks on a release and then falling off a cliff never to be heard from again. Nocturne mains understand getting fed super early in the game and then getting outscaled late game and losing. Nunu mains understand the rarity and satisfaction of his ult completely going all the way through and connecting because it almost never happens. Every Olaf main has those games where you just can't seem to land a single Q no matter what you try. But then you realize it doesn't matter because you're Olaf. Orianna mains know the feeling of accidentally ulting yourself because you moved out of range and your ball came back to you. If you're an Ornn main, you know the constant struggle of upgrading someone's items and having them stand next to you while it happens. A surprising amount of people don't know that you can still move and it won't interrupt the upgrade. Pantheon mains understand the joys of KSing people with your spear. Every Poppy main understands the pure joy of getting a Riven matchup. Nothing better than seeing someone first pick Riven on the other team. Pyke mains hate it when people flash their ult or use Zhonya's, and they also know how devastating it is to die early in a team fight and see all of their health bars get super low knowing you could have easily cleaned it all up. Kiana mains know how annoying it is pushing a base because the only element you can get in the base is rock. Quinn mains have all experienced hovering Quinn and having your teammates say they need a tank. It's probably the same people that ban one champion and then get mad at you for not banning someone else, pretending like they couldn't just ban them themselves. Rakan mains understand the pure frustration of having teammates run away from you when he's either trying to heal you or just get out of a team fight to safety. All Rammus mains have enjoyed the thrill of watching an ADC kill themselves in the late game by just auto attacking you. Rek'Sai mains understand being mistaken for a he instead of a she. Rell mains hate it when you walk out of E range while in the middle of a fight because the Q, heal, and stun can make a huge difference. Renata mains hate it when teammates don't understand her W and run away instead of trying to revive. It's especially worse if you die knowing you could have maybe W'd yourself instead. Renekton mains love a good old Yasuo matchup. Nothing more satisfying than seeing Yasuo top lane lock in on the other team. Rengar mains understand the pain of accidentally canceling your ult with your E, or W for that matter. Riven mains understand having to pour hours and hours of work into getting her mechanics down as well as spending hours on studying different top lane matches only to just mess up her third Q jump and die anyways, or just lose to someone like Garen. Rumble mains know the pain of starting a fight when your energy is already almost maxed because you know you won't be able to cast more than 1 or 2 spells, so instead you just end up poking them to death. True Rise mains understand what the plan is. If you know, you know. Samira mains understand that she's kinda useless unless she has a good engaged support with her. And Sejuani mains understand that champion is either extremely busted or completely useless, mostly because the status of Sejuani is typically at the mercy of pro play. Senna mains understand what it's like to hear a Yasuo or Samira complain that their wind wall isn't working on you. And Senna mains also understand what it's like to int for souls. Seraphine mains know the constant struggle of seeing your own team dodge your own ult, as well as having a team that doesn't follow up when you hit the other team. Also, some people don't realize that Seraphine's heal takes a second to go off, so Seraphine will have to chase down their teammates until it fully procs. Set mains understand what it's like to have to chase down everyone in League with no dashes and just their bare fists. Jacob mains know what it's like to play their own mini game of making as many people rage quit as possible while the rest of the team is actually trying to win the game. Shen mains know the pure unsufferable pain of when you ult someone and they run away from the team fight. This is literally the worst feeling ever. Shyvana mains understand what it's like to get teased about a VGU rework for years. Maybe one day, guys. Maybe one day. Singed mains just understand what it's like to straight up cause chaos because no one really knows how to truly play against a Singed. Even when you get kills, are you really actually winning? Sion mains know how to be relevant. Even when you're 0 and 5, you'll still probably solo kill someone later in the game, or just be a pain in the ass and constantly backdoor. All Sivir mains love playing a Caitlyn because whenever they place a trap, it's basically free mana for them with their spell shield. All Skarner mains have a pure hatred towards Seraphine. Old Sona mains just miss the grail. Soraka mains know what it's like for people to sprint away from you all game and then just be mad at you for not healing you enough. Swain mains, or at least Swain support mains, understand somehow ending up with just all of the kills in the bot lane and your ADC being pissed off because of it. Sylas mains love to see some spicy ults being locked in on the other team, especially if they have a Malphite. That's just free LP. Syndra mains know there's nothing less satisfying than ulting someone and having them still live or just use Zhonya's. Tahm Kench mains hate it when you risk everything to save an ally with their ult, but their team just decides to pop out early and you end up losing all your movement speed to escape, so you both end up dying. Taliyah mains know the pain of accidentally missing your second R and not riding on the wall. No matter how many times you play this champion, it always eventually happens. Talon mains understand the freedom of just getting to roam around the entire map in any way he really desires thanks to his expert parkour capabilities. Also, they get much joy in watching people chase them around. Taric mains understand what it's like to have have to choose between the two. Teemo mains know the pain of getting shrooms swept away, especially when you put so much effort into placing them. Teemo mains also hate it when their teammates bait minions onto shrooms accidentally too. Not to mention when people sit around you when you're invisible. Also, Teemo mains hate to shower, which is fair because showering is an LP waste. I think this one is pretty obvious, but yeah. Thresh mains hate it when no one ever takes the damn lantern. Tristana mains understand the pure satisfaction of picking up a kill by pushing your bomb into someone who's low with your R. Trundle mains enjoy the power they hold with their E, so when the time is necessary, they can quite literally troll their team and stop their recalls. Tryndamere mains understand what it's like to want to set up Baron for their team in the middle of the game and then go bot lane to get pressure, but instead having their entire team follow him down there. I mean, this goes for all split pushers for that matter, but it's still so freaking true. Twisted Fate players all know the pain of what it's like to pull out the wrong card at the wrong time. You'll know that all you need is a yellow card to stun and get the kill, but instead you whip out anything but that. It's definitely a feels bad moment. Twitch mains have encountered time where they were just walking up into lane invisible with their Q just to have the other team drop a control ward in their face and scare the crap out of you. Udyr mains are truly happy about the VGU rework, but deep down they still miss the old Udyr bit and running around frantically in bear stance. Forgot mains know how devastating it is to get someone with your ult and then have it go through the animation, but then you die before it finishes. Varus mains understand having to constantly switch their playstyle from AD to AP according to how Riot's feeling that day. Vayne mains understand that everyone pretty much hates them. Flyguard mains understand risking it all just for a Q stack, a quality they share with Susan mains. Vel'Koz mains know what it's like to see Raptors run into your lane every 5 seconds due to you chucking out your abilities. Vex mains understand basically everyone hating you because almost every mid main has a dash. Vi mains hate level 1 invades, mostly because they're really just not built for it unless they level up their Q, which isn't great for them anyways. Viego mains know what it's like to possess a champion that you have no idea how to play. The key is just to mash a few buttons, and if you do something cool, it was 100% calculated. Victor mains hate Fizz. Vlad mains understand the sheer pain of someone coming up and stealing a minion you were just about to heal off of, especially when you had your empowered Q ready, actually tilting. If you're a Volibear main, you've all spammed his dance nonstop. You're not a true Warwick main if you've never completely whiffed an ult flying right past the entire team fight. Additionally, real Warwick mains have also latched onto someone's recall or TP with their Q before too. It's like a rite of passage. One of Wukong mains' favorite thing to do is juke people by standing still. It really never gets old. Xayah mains hate it when their third feather just barely misses and they're unable to get the stun because of it. Xerath mains know the pain of trying to hit your ult on champions that have 1,000 dashes. Jhin Zhao mains know the pain of someone instantly dashing or jumping away when you jump on them. They also understand being completely useless after 20 minutes. This meme isn't even really accurate though, he's more like a caster minion. Yasuo mains hate it when the enemy is just slightly too far under their turret that their ult doesn't trigger outside of the tower range but instead throws them right under it. If the enemy was just slightly closer in a lot of circumstances, Yasuo would automatically ult on the outside of it, so it would just be millimeters that separate the two circumstances. All Yone mains know the feeling of panicking and using your E to escape, but then getting post-E clarity knowing you're about to jump back to your death. Freedom was so close, but yet so far away. York mains don't understand much, but they do understand what Hullbreaker is, what top lane is, how to stay in top lane, and how to smash turrets. Oh yeah, and they also hate Aurelia. Every Yuumi main at some point has been scarred by a Mordekaiser either on their team or the other team. Either your teammate just ults and forgets you exist, throwing you to the ground, or your enemy Mord ults your ADC, leaving you to fend for yourself. Additionally, one of the most frustrating things is also having your ADC in lane move away from the enemy every time you throw your Q. Similar to Lee Sin mains, you're not a true Zac main unless you've been outplayed by a Scuttlecrab before. Not just missing your E, but your Q as well. Similar to Kassadin mains, Zed mains know what it's like to have to play blind pick most of the time because their champion is banned almost every single game. Zeri mains understand being either complete garbage or completely overpowered thanks to pro play. Also, every time Zeri mains see Zeri doing well in pro play, they start crying a bit because they know what's about to happen. If you're a true Ziggs main, it's hard to resist destroying turrets even when it costs you your life. Zillion mains know the pain of having to chase their team around trying to use their passive on them. Additionally, it also sucks when they accidentally use it and stop moving. Zoe players absolutely hate it when they land their sleep on an enemy only to have someone on their team auto attack them and wake them up while you're winding up your Q. Every Zyra main at some point have accidentally stolen the buff from their jungler while leashing and still fear that they'll do it again every time they have to leash. This video took forever to make, so if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Anyways, thanks for watching and I will see you next time. A huge shout out to my tier 3 patrons Steph, Noctek, and James. A massive shout out to Set Right for being a tier 4 patron, and thank you so freaking much to all my incredible supporters of this channel as well. Bye.